Well, hello everyone. Scott Johnson here. Drawing cartoons. This is an Extralife comic that I created for today, and I thought it'd be fun to narrate it. Everything's sped up 400% so that we're not here all day. Actually, it wouldn't be all day. I guess it'd be, I don't know, probably an hour and a half. Something like that. That's not right. 400 times, well, maybe. Anyway, it's about 8 minutes long, so enjoy. I keep returning to these characters. I wish you'd have been here for the sketch stage. I forgot to hit play or record when I was doing that, but been using these guys for a little while, mostly in black and white. And if you've been a fan of the site for a while, or of the comic at all, you'll notice that I kind of do this. I tend to kind of go back and forth and do different dudes. You know, regular characters that show up kind of briefly, but kind of regularly. And these guys are probably some of the most regular I've had for a while. They don't have names. They're just dudes. But something's really compelling about these two guys. And so I thought it would be fun to tell another joke with them. I don't know why I'm paused so long there. Oh, I was probably changing music or something. Anyway, this is... as you can see, this is the ink stage of everything, and this is kind of how things work. If you've seen these videos before, you've seen me do this, where I talk about the process and film it and then narrate it. So none of this is super new, but I decided today that these guys would no longer be in black and white, that they would move forward in color. Which, you know, I think is good, because I kind of prefer working in color, although occasionally I get a wild hair and decide that it'd be fun to do something in black and white, but I'm probably most comfortable creating color. I don't know, depends on the mood that I'm in. And we're inking our final panel. I probably need to come up with names for these guys if I'm going to use them more regularly. I don't even know if I will. Like, I have this... it's specific to Extralife, that comic. I'll get tired of the same dudes if I do them too much, and I kind of want to go back to just being random. But assuming these guys stick around, maybe there's a future for them, and maybe they should have a name. You know, right now the guy on the right is basically known as Triforce Shirt Man, because he has a Triforce shirt on. For those not familiar with what that is, Google is your friend, so go look it up. The other thing is, a lot of times I'm not even done sort of deciding what they're going to look like. Like, right now they're fairly worked out characters, but I may at some point in the future totally change the look of one of them or both of them. And you know, this kind of stuff, the way it works is they do evolve. One thing I don't like about this video capturing stuff I'm using is when it's zoomed out a bit, you get a lot of jaggy edges on the video. That's not how the comic looks. Especially if you're looking at this video on the page where the comic is. You'll note that that's not how it looks, but it's the best I could pull off with this particular I got some new software I'm trying, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I don't like that zoomed out, crusty view. It just looks like, I don't know, Atari 2600 graphics. The joke of the comic today is all about this tech demo that Epic, what do they go by? Just Epic Games, I guess, put out. For the iPhone and iPad. It's just a tech demo of what they showed on stage a couple of days ago, or a few days ago. And it's very, very impressive. Extremely impressive. And it immediately made me think about how they often do this. You know, Epic's been they're consistently, they'll come up with something and then blow everyone's mind with it. You know, at the time. Others tend to catch up, or oftentimes they don't even innovate, but, you know, like id Software come out with a new engine, and then suddenly Unreal's got something that beats it, and it's kind of this weird back and forth, or at least traditionally back in the PC days. For me, when I was really heavy into shooters on PCs, that was often true. But this tech demo is amazing. Like, I'm extremely excited for what I might be able to do with it, game-wise. Like, what games are going to put out for this thing. I think it's going to be downright amazing. So, anyway, the joke's about that, and we'll get into the joke of the comic here in a bit when we're done. But we are now, of course, in the coloring stage. For those new to this process, some of it I do by hand, like you see there. Some of it I dump in with a paint bucket tool, and it just sort of depends on the work itself and what I'm doing with it. You can see a lot of layer work happening over to the right. We're already to the shading stage. Man, I wish I could work this fast. It'd be awesome. I'm just creating a little light and dark, a little shade action. That pauses someone at the door. And this is me coming back. There we go. I probably could just cut that out, but I didn't think about it. And as long as I'm under the YouTube limit, is YouTube still? I think it's still a limit of 20. I want to say that's right. It's still a limit of 20 or 10 minutes, I think. A gigabyte or something. A file size. I don't know how they work anymore. Anyway, I do this with just about all of them. I tend to favor a light source on the left. I don't know why. Like, I'll do it from the right occasionally, but for whatever reason, I get into this mode of doing all my light coming from a specific direction. In this case, you can see the light in the scene on the phone is actually coming from the right. So I do that. But why I decide to and when, I don't know. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. I just sort of... I try to mix it up. I try to remember that, oh, those last 3 comics all had light coming from the right. I really should do something from the left, or vice versa. I noticed something else about my writing when I have 2 characters in a comic, whether they're regulars or they're just, whether even something like experience points. Whether they're regular characters or just random characters, I tend to... I didn't like this color, so I changed it. I tend to have one who's kind of the smart guy, is a little bit hyper about everything, is sort of the talkative one, and then there's always kind of the quiet one. In some cases, like with Steve in Experience Points, didn't say anything. He's just a duck, and he just stands there. But there's always that guy in my strips. I don't know what that says or what that means or if that's good or what that is, but it's something for sure. Just doing a little texture work for the backgrounds here, and we're pretty close to being done, actually. I think I zoom in here in a second and show the comic up close. This is me fixing some dialogue, because that sometimes happens where I had an extra and in here somewhere. There it is. I kill an and. I do that all the time. But yeah, I usually do write it before. So here it is finished. Oh, eyeball. Ah! Alright, see you guys later. Bye.